So weighted side bends primarily involve the lateral flexion of the spine, where the torso bends sideways in the frontal plane toward the side, holding the weight. While this movement seems simple, it demands significant core stabilization, especially anti-rotation, anti-flexion, and extension control to maintain proper alignment and prevent twisting or collapsing. The key muscles at play include the external and internal obliques, which drive the lateral flexion through concentric contraction as you bend down and eccentric control as you return upright. The quadratus laborum also contributes to side bending and spinal stability. Meanwhile, the rectus abdominis and the rectus spinae act isometrically to resist unwanted flexion or extension, and the transversus abdominis provides deep core support throughout the movement. So I got my volunteer here to do the demonstration. To perform the exercise correctly, stand tall with feet shoulder width apart, and hold a dumbbell or kettlebell in one hand. The opposite hand can rest behind your head or across your chest to encourage upright posture. As you slowly bend toward the weighted side, imagine sliding your rib cage towards your iliac crest without rotating or leaning forward. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hips and brace your core as you're preparing for impact. Control the swinging of the weight, blocking your knees or allowing your torso to twist. Proper execution requires deliberate control and awareness of spinal alignment.
Next, we're going to move on to the hanging leg raises. The hanging leg raise is an exercise that primarily involves hip flexion and lumbar spine stabilization. As you tilt your legs, the iliopsoas, rectus femoris, and sartorius contract concentrically to bring the thighs towards the torso. Your abdominal muscles, especially your rectus abdominis, internal and external obliques, and transverse abdominis, engage isometrically to resist the lumbar extension and maintain spinal neutrality. This makes the movement not just a flexion exercise, but also a strong anti-extension and anti-rotation challenge. Your grip and shoulder stabilizers, including the forearm flexors, latissimus dorsi, and rhomboids, work isometrically to keep your body steady from preventing swinging. So here is the movement. To perform the exercise correctly, start by gripping the pull-up bar with a shoulder-width pronated grip. Depress your scapulae to avoid passive hanging and activate your lats. As you begin the movement, posteriorly tilt your pelvis and engage your hip flexors to lift your legs smoothly to at least 90 degrees of hip flexion, which he's showing right now. Keep your spine neutral, don't let your lower back arch, and avoid using momentum. Control the descent with eccentric strength, resisting the urge to drop your legs quickly. Common mistakes include excessive lumbar lordosis, swinging the leg.
This is the low to high dumbbell wood chop, which strengthens the core through rotation and extension. The obliques are the prime movers, while the rectus abdominis and transversus abdominis brace isometrically to keep the spine stable. The lats and pecs help move the weight upward, and the erector spinae and glutes stabilize the trunk and pelvis, adding an anti-rotation component. Now Mel is going to demonstrate the low to high wood chop, and as we drive the dumbbell up, the obliques and lats contract concentrically, and on the way back down, they control the load eccentrically. The key cues for this movement are to keep a neutral spine, brace your abs, rotate through the torso, not just the arms, and let the hips and shoulders move together. Exhale on the chop and inhale on the return. This exercise builds core strength by training the trunk to produce and resist force for better spinal stability.
All right, unilateral farmer carry, anti-lateral flexion. The unilateral farmer's carry trains the core and postural muscles isometrically as they turn to resist lateral flexion toward the weighted side. The rectus abdominis stabilizes the trunk against extension or flexion, while the contralateral extension, external oblique, ipsilateral internal oblique, and the contralateral quadratus laborum all contract isometrically to keep the torso upright. The rectus spinae on both sides support spinal extension and the gluteus medius and minimus on the contralateral side by vent hip drop, with the adductors and abductors also contributing to pelvic stability during gait. Meanwhile, the forearm flexors maintain grip isometrically, and the trapezius, rhomboids, and deltoids stabilize the shoulder girdle against downward pull. For proper technique, the spine should be kept in a neutral position without leaning forward or away from the load. The glutes, abdominals, and lats should remain engaged to provide full body stability. The shoulders stay level without shrugging or dropping, and each step should be deliberate and controlled.
The exercise that Conrad is getting ready to demonstrate is called the Renegade Row. It's a combination exercise of a plank and a dumbbell row, and its main purpose is to train the core and for its stability. So what makes this exercise unique is how it challenges the body to resist two different things, rotation and extension. So Conrad is going to get ready to do the Renegade Row for us. So I'm just going to start explaining it. So as the body stays in a straight line from head to toe, he's going to be holding a plank while rowing. As one dumbbell comes up, the core muscles, especially the rectus abdominis and the obliques, fire to keep that torso from twisting. That's the anti-rotation element. At the same time, the abs and the glutes work together to keep the hips from sagging, which shows the anti-extension benefit. The rhomboids drive the rowing motion, while the shoulders and the triceps stabilize the upper body. Together, these muscles build trunk stiffness, upper body stability, and also just overall protect the spine and help build that core.